Welcome to our show, Your Miracle Resource. This is designed for you. It's our question and answer. I will be back with Sarah for our regular podcast, but this is a great question and answer, and I want to thank all of you, not only for your emails, but also replying through miracleresources.com. We designed the show about you. So any problem or issue you're facing, Miracle Resources has been doing transformative workshops since 2003, mostly for corporate, but for you as well. So whether you're struggling with an issue with your team or something that you're dealing with, we probably have the workshop for you. But you asked me some interesting questions, and I want to thank you for that. A lot of times when I speak, and I just got done doing 2 commencement speeches, I'll hear, what's your motto for life? How do you live your life? What's your motto? I have many mottos, and I think mottos depend on what you're going through. I think they're a great motivator, but they're also a great guide. I think that they can help you no matter what you're going through. So one that I want to share with you, it is called Be Free. It's a great motto. Why? Because there are moments when we get so busy and we're so rushed, we need to take a moment. We need to be free. We need to walk away, find that moment to re-energize, to reset. And I want to share one with you. Some favorite people of mine in the hometown that I live in Wadsworth, Ohio, are the Rosberts. And when we lost my father-in-law, Dan and Belinda Rosbert just did an amazing job with all of the funeral services. As the daughter-in-law, and I loved my father-in-law, he was fun. We called him Kenny. He was just great. And I wanted to help with the funeral and all of the details as much as I could as a daughter-in-law. And we had been kind of working and going through things, and people were coming in from out of town. And if you've ever been through that, it's a lot. And I wanted to be there for my mother-in-law and my sister-in-law and, of course, my husband. And finally, near the end of the funeral, it hit me. And I really started to cry. And everybody said, Harry, are you okay? And Dan Rosbert said, she just needs a moment. I think those are powerful words. Sometimes you just need a moment. I just needed a moment to go to the restroom, be by myself, reset, re-energize. I believe we all need that, and why it's an important Miracle Monthly motto for you. As I said, I have tons of mottos, but this one is very, very powerful for me. Being free to take the time for myself to, as Dan said, take a moment. I think we all need that. Now, the second part of Be Free. At the commencement speech, I shared, and I want to share with you, something we've trademarked and copyrighted, and I love it. It's called ABC. If I can't sleep at night, I'm overthinking, I have too many things on my mind. Maybe you've been there. If you're a person that has that, I want you to think ABC. ABC is accountability. A for accountability. I'm going to look at the situation, look at my accountability. What do I need to do? So here's a small example. Let's say you were talking with someone, the conversation didn't go well. You would look at your own accountability. Is there something you need to say? Do you need to do a follow-up? Is there something that you need to explain? That's accountability, which also could stand for action. But here's the good news. The B is for be a planner. If this is hitting you at 3 a.m, you're not going to call someone or send an email, but you are going to think, I'm going to be a planner. I'm going to handle it. So the B is for be a planner. So you've already put that in your mind. You took your accountability, you became a planner, be a planner, and then C, close it out. You're done thinking about it. You've taken your accountability. You've become a planner. Now close it out and get back to bed. I think sometimes we overthink things and we replay them in our heads. And we really need to get our sleep and to be well so we have the ability to focus. So always remember ABC, accountability, be a planner. That's your plan for how you're going to handle it. And then C, close it out. You're done. And I want you guys to know, Be Free is one of my favorite mottos, but the next Miracle Monthly motto, this one is so powerful. It's called Be Strong. Now you may say, hey, I'm going through a lot or something's happened. I'm going through some things. And I want you to know, of course, I believe leaning on support from people that you trust and are there for you. But I also believe that your pain can be a campaign to help others. Now, that's a rare statement. Why I copyrighted that in my first book, Discovering Your Dawn, at which I have up here so you could see. I went through a tragedy and I needed to be strong. I needed to be strong to get through it, to be there for my friends' families. I needed to make my pain a campaign. Why? Because many of you will say the toughest things that you went through, that path that you went on, that journey, the mistakes you made, other people can learn from. But the other part is people can look at you and become strong. So your pain can be a campaign. Now, I know that you may be hearing this and saying, okay, that's a tough motto. But the motto really is that you'll be tested, and we know that in our lives. So we have to be strong. How are we strong? We have a strategy, and that may be going to support from some people who you can trust, seeing that this is a process, that someday you may tell someone else about it. You may help someone else with it. It may not feel good at the time, but please don't doubt your ability. And remember, during that time, your superpower is your passion. Whatever you're passionate about. I was passionate about helping my friend's family as they went through things after this tragedy. So for me, I would always say to you, the big thing is to learn your passion, how you're going to get through it, and again, be strong. All right, you ready for the next one? The next Miracle Monthly motto that you guys wrote me about. And this is one that I had grads come up to me and they loved it. It's be bold. And I want you guys to know when we say be bold, we think we should just be loud and get our voices out there. And I want you to think a little bit differently about being bold. Look at listening, observing, creating a strategy, and then engaging. Your strongest voice is your credible, well thought through voice. Why does that matter in Be Bold? Because if you strategize and then you're bold and use your voice, you'll gain more credibility and you'll have more people who listen to you and come to you. The next Miracle Monthly motto is worth it. I want you to think discernment to decision. Sometimes you may be faced with something. Is this worth doing? Do I have time for this? Should I be putting my energy in there? We all have the power and the actions and the energy, but you have to believe in it, right? So when you look at discernment and look at strategy, what do you want to be involved with? What are the things that are important to you? What is the end goal? And also the flexibility of understanding it may not seem like something for you, but you might be interested in it. It may be absolutely what you need. So when it comes to your mindset, look at your mindset as a mindset of opportunity. I've been involved in some projects that I thought I might never use in my career, and it's been amazing for me how those opportunities, when I looked at it as an opportunity instead of an obstacle, then it became worth it to me. And remember, you are worth the desires that you have and the dreams that you have. It's just a matter of putting strategy and seeing it with a mindset of opportunity. Now, the next Miracle Monthly motto. And you guys wrote in about this one because you said, be a light. And one person had wrote me and said, well, how can I be a light? I don't feel like I make a difference. Well, I want to challenge that. And let me explain what I mean. When we see someone, and I want you to think about the last time that you saw someone or met someone new, their energy, their body language, their attitude can have a huge impact, right? So we know to be a light, we need to look at our own action, our own body language, and our own attitude. Because I think we all know that attitude is contagious. Body language is contagious. Energy is contagious. So bring your best every day, and you will be that light that our people are inspired by. The next Miracle Monthly motto is be the change. I want you to think about your work life and your home life and all of the people that you know. We all have faced times when we've met people who are part of the problem instead of part of the solution. I want you to be a part of the solution. So to be the change means that we use love. And love stands for listen, observe, value, and engage. Listen fully, observe, watch body language, value what someone is saying. Even if you disagree with them, value the person and learn and listen. Then you'll engage correctly. So to be the change is really to take the time to love, to listen, observe, value, and engage. then you can make positive change based on what you've witnessed. And for the Miracle Monthly motto, hope. Many people say, well, hope. How can I have hope when something seems so terrible and so tragic? And I've been there. And the books that I've written, whether it's Inquisitive Culture, which is helping in the workplace, Your Strategic Personal Brand, many people use because they're going through a change, whether that change is a new job or maybe even retirement. People will read the book, especially young professionals, and they'll say, how can I have hope when things look so difficult? Well, I want to give you this monthly motto, and it is called Hope. And it means we're going to reflect on the people in your life and the situations that showed you a time of support and encouragement. So I need you to think back. Go ahead and think back. And if you journal, even better. You're going to see there were times that were tough, and you have hope because you can go back, reflect, look at those tough times, look at how you went through them. That will give you hope. We know sometimes when you look deeper, there's a deeper reason to have hope than you even believe that you could have. So reflect back and strategize forward to have hope. Now, the next one, be well. Many people say, oh, everybody says be well. And why does that matter? Well, I want to tell you, being well may mean that you need to dare to be different. And here's what I mean. For me, I started smoking when I was in college right after a tragedy. I lost two of my friends, and I went through a horrific time, and their murders took me to a place that was very, very, very difficult. I started smoking, and that's not what I wanted to do. And please know, if you're a smoker, I used to hate when I smoked, and people told me, stop smoking. But I want to give you a different reason. Actually, I was starting to look at personal branding, and I was beginning to write that book, Your Strategic Personal Brand. And I thought, I don't want this in my life. So in 2006, I quit smoking. Now, that was very different because all my friends had smoked, and at work, the smoking group was like the social circle, so you knew what was going on. It was fun. And I didn't smoke. So I was different, and it was very, very different for me to think, how am I going to live my life without this? So I want you guys to know you have to dare to be different sometimes to be well. In 2012, someone who I love very much quit drinking. And I said, I'm going to do it with you to be supportive. So I love a good mocktail. You can always call me for a mocktail. I Zoom with people, and there I'm having a mocktail, and they're having a cocktail. I want you guys to know it's very different when you make these kind of changes. And there may be some people who say, oh, you don't do that anymore. You have to dare for what's important for your wellness, whether it's exercise or nutrition. But I want to put a big priority on sleep. When it comes to sleep, everybody's different in what they need. Now, there are standard guidelines, of course, but understand you have to dare to be different. Not my last one. 2025, this year, I gave up Diet Coke. And for those of you who know me, oh, wow, I always had a Diet Coke. I want you guys to know it's hard sometimes to be different, to do something different, but understand your wellness has so much more to do with you and your plan and your identity and being okay with being different. So I wish you well. Be well. The next Miracle Monthly motto is do your best. Now, that seems common. Most people say, well, of course you should do your best. But I'm going to challenge you to something a little bit different than you've heard. I challenge you to do your best on everything, literally everything. Doing your best is much more of a habit, getting in a habit. Honestly, great habits are the reason people get promoted. They are the reason that people become leaders. If you give your best at everything, do your best, your opportunities will follow. I promise you. Now, the last Miracle Monthly motto for today. It's called You Can Do It. Now, you're going to say, oh, but that's so common. But I want you to think just a little bit different from me. I want you to go to a time that made you who you are today. Think about that. Go to a time in your mind that made you who you are today. Now, when I ask this question, what made you who you are today? most people will answer it was something very difficult, something they didn't think they could do. So you can do it didn't make sense to them at the time. It was some point where things were very difficult and they had to go back to, okay, I can do it. But before we do that, let's go to another place. There's a time when you overcame obstacles. You had to put your life back together. For some people who are listening, you might not feel like you can do it. You're like, oh, Catherine, that's a nice motto, but I don't think I can do it. Well, I'm going to challenge you. I want you to think about the times in your life that made you who you are today. Most people will say they overcame something difficult. So I want to read to you the words of Paul Tillich, a theologian who said, "Our moments of suffering interrupt our life, and you find you are not the person you thought you were." So let's review that. Paul Tillich, a theologian, who said, the moments in your life that suffering interrupted your life so you could find out who you are. Now you say, but Catherine, I don't want to go through that. Totally agree with you. I didn't want to go through the things I went through either. But becoming that different person, and when you look at that quote, here's the power in it. We talked about overcoming, and I've shared with you a little bit about that, and I've shared my journey. But here's the reality, and this is from Paul Tillich. Knowing that you have a choice. You can live broken, or you can be broken open to transformation. I've seen it. I've been broken open to transformation. I found my faith through those difficult times. So I want each and every one of you, as you listen to this, to understand that when you are going through something, let's take a moment and observe it. Let's listen. Let's say to ourselves, what's going on? Then let's put together a strategy. From last week's episode, and you guys wrote me about this, you said SMART really helped you. And this is the acronym I use. When I go through anything, I have strategy. I strategize how I'm going to get through it. I pick a mindset. That's the M in SMART. That mindset is looking for opportunity. Because if I have the mindset, oh, this is going to be horrible, this is going to be awful, I have to have a mindset of how I'm going to get through that, in what ways. The A in SMART stands for ask for help. That means the right people, the experts, ask for help. The R stands for relationships, and we know relationships can get you through anything. So build those relationships and support system. Then the T, technology. Jump into it, learn about it, get the technology that's going to help you as you go through your transformation. So I want to share with each and every one of you that I have loved doing this question and answer, and we'll keep doing more of these. I want to thank WCTV. I was honored to win the Clapper Award, and it means the world to me because WCTV is a studio in Wadsworth, Ohio, and WCTV, the full television production. I want to thank Abe. I want to thank Joanna for bringing me in because I love being in this new podcast studio. If you're a Northeast Ohioan, please reach out. We'd love to have you come and be in the studio. It would be great. And I want all of you to know, as you go through selecting your mottos, I don't live by one motto. So when you guys wrote me and said, what's your motto you live by? I have a ton of them. And next week, I'll be bringing you one last one. Why? Because I think that when we choose our motto based on what we're going through, that's how we can become stronger. So I want everyone to remember, Miracle Resources is here for you. That's why our show is called Your Miracle Resource. Any workshop that you need, go ahead. You can email me, km@miracleresources.com, or feel free to go through the Miracle Resources website. Tell me what you need, what workshop you need. I will hire the best trainer for you. We have 50 of them across the United States. I will find that person and we will create a workshop customized for you. We love doing that. We're a 22-year-old company, so we have the ability to do that. So reach out. We'd love to help you. And thank you for joining today, Your Miracle Resource.
You are watching WCTV, Wadsworth Community Television.